Good morning. It is Saturday, I think, about the 21st of July. We're just about 3 days from, 2 or 3 days from being home, depending on how long we want to stay at LA Rays coming up later on today. Continue on here in just a minute. I thought I would take just a few minutes for those of you, not that I'm a professional camper by any means, but for you folks that have never or am not familiar with connecting all your utilities to your camper. So I'm just going to run through it very basically, very quickly, to kind of give you guys an idea of what's required if you want full hookups or partial hookups. We're in campsite 29. You can see this is our designated pedestal. The pedestal has power. As you can see, I'm plugged in. I'm going to open it up and show you. We have to the left 50 amp, and there's a 30 amp single pole and a 20 amp single pole. So we have 50 amp available at this pedestal, a 30 amp if you have just one air conditioner. We have two, requires a 50 amp big heavy cord. And then if you just have a standard 120 volt like house current in your RV, you have plenty of power there. You have a 20 amp circuit there, a GFCI circuit. Now, I also have a dog bone protection device, a safeguard to ensure that we have good power, and it shows me these lighted indicator lights, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. So anyway, we're plugged into the 50 amp. Okay, then secondly, the water connection, the fresh water, you should always use a white hose. That indicates that you are connected to a potable water source. You should never use a hose that's black or any color other than white when you connect potable water to your rig. So hence we have potable water connected. It's pretty easy, self-explanatory. This unit here is a pressure regulating device. It only allows a certain amount of pressure, like up to 80 or 85 pounds of water pressure connected to your rig, because you don't want to blow out any plumbing inside the rig. So there we are. We're running on probably 80 pounds of pressure right now with our fresh water supply. Okay, then I'm going to open up. This is a little bit more complicated. It is where the the sewage connects. There are as you can see, this is a lockable type hose system. You can see how you twist and turn these guys together. This black hose is a flexible hose that connects your drain outlet to your sewage inlet. In this case, we have full hookups. So what we do is at the end of the day, what I do is I keep my valves pushed in, which means the valves to your tanks on board. That tank, this tank, is collecting water and waste inside. This gray tank is water from your sink and your shower, and sinks, I should say, kitchen and bathroom, your lavatory. And this guy here is collecting water only from your commode. So as you can see, the pipe connecting the tank to the outlet is larger than the gray water piping from the gray water tank. But then they merge here, and then they go out the same place. You also have a spot where you can connect a freshwater hose. Don't use white. That way you don't get them mixed up. Usually I have a yellow hose that I connect when I want to flush this thing out. So this is what happens at the end of what we do every day, and then we close the valves back. I open up, and I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I'm I'm going to open up. I'm not going to show you the clear 90-degree connector that goes into the ground, the hub, the donut, whatever they call it. But right now what we're doing is we're emptying the black tank, and now you can see it's through the clear that it's empty, that we emptied it. Okay, then I'm going to close it back. Then I open up the gray water tank. And the gray water tank is kind of a flushing system. It flushes out water from the sink in the shower, and it's clean, virtually clean water, and it flushes out the pipe the rest of the way. Then at the end of the day, okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this. I think it's pretty important to keep these closed in my book anyway. If you keep those open, there's a way that maybe insects or little animals or whatever could come in from the sewage system into your rig, and I don't want that to happen. So hence I push these in, I close these, keep them closed at all times until I'm ready to flush and clean everything out and get ready to leave. So then at the end, what I will do is I will disconnect this, and I will run fresh water. I'll bring it over to the nozzle after I disconnect my potable water hose, and I'll rinse that pipe out, and then I disconnect it, put the white plug back. I'll screw this out, see it screws out, and then I will screw this back onto the hub, and that way we're disconnected. The same thing holds true with the power. When at the end of the day, what I do is I turn off the 50 amp circuit breaker, and then I unplug my goodies, take my what they call the dog bone off, and then I wind up my cord. I pull it up through the hole, wind it up, and put it in here, and then I put my cap back on to keep dust, dirt, and water and things from the road debris out of my compartment. I haven't washed this side of the rig yet. I'm going to do that this morning. You can see. Another thing that RVers are aware of, most other people may not be, but this is the bumper on the back of our rig, and it is fitted with plugs on each end that you could put, if you want to, you could store the hose, the sewer hose, in there. But to do that, it won't fit. You have to take the ends off of the hose. I don't want to do that. I just as soon, of course I keep several of these on here to make sure I have enough in a hose, but I just connect them together and squinch everything together. These things are expandable and retractable, and I don't worry about trying to store that in the bumper. So I'm gonna kind of close all this up because I need to wash it. You can see, look at the gravel goop we came in the rain yesterday. So there you have it. Really, I mean, basic things in a nutshell. It takes me about 5 minutes to connect the freshwater hose, the power, and the sewer drain hose to our rig and get it rocking and rolling.